I don't know why someone would be so scared of election. I don't know. Because even in primary schools these days, they elect. Are they saying that the headmaster has no capacity to point at someone and say you are going to be the head prefect? But they want that the children in that school get attached to their leader. Even in churches, they elect. Even LC1 chairman is elected. I don't know why people are dying over fighting against election. Every member of parliament who is here came here through an election. So I am actually scared that the people who want to actually promote democracy fear elections. Why should you fear elections? Another thing is, we are on the opposition and we are preparing to go in power in 2026. If in case we have done some actions which can help us to go there. So people should not be scared. We shall be in power in 2026. So since we shall be in power, this bill will now work on the people who will be in opposition. We do not be us. So are people saying we are permanently going to be in opposition? Are they so happy with the position? So I want to change even the minds of some people. People should now start thinking of how the people in opposition are going to go in power and actually change the country. If people are permanently thinking that they are going to be in opposition, I am very sorry for some people. The other one is nomination of parliamentary commissioners and election. The law as it is provides that commissioners should be elected. I am further proposing that there must be another commissioner in the commission to represent all other small political parties in parliament. Why? The other four are representing the NRM. One representing the biggest party on opposition. Then what about the others? I'm proposing let these others also elect one commissioner to represent their interests. Because I have never met a commissioner in a meeting to give him my views also. I have never met one. So if I have elected one, I will have access and tell him I am thinking like this. But commissioners sit somewhere, you can't even access them and do whatever they want to do. After doing, you quarrel. So I'm bringing a system how we can elect our commissioners so that everybody's heart is put to a position of resting. I am also proposing that if there is a national election, a general election, and the second run-up gets half of the votes of the winner, half or more, that person should go to parliament as an ex-officio member of parliament. Why? Because most of the MPs here, there are even MPs here who came here with 4,000 votes, 3,000 votes. But you find a man who has been standing for president, he has gotten 3.8 million votes and is out of parliament. Then there is this one who has gotten 3,000 votes, is here in parliament. So I'm suggesting that if such a scenario happens, let that person appear here as a member of parliament, but as an ex-officio. That is one of my propositions. The other one requires amendment of the Constitution. I am proposing. Actually, this is the hardest, but they are looking at the easiest. The hardest is this one. I am proposing that I want the Constitution to be amended to include that the Deputy Speaker of Parliament should come from the opposition. That's what I want. I don't know why we are here. There are two sides. One is the opposition, another one is in the government. But all speakers are from one side of the government. What stops us from having a deputy speaker coming from the opposition? Someone must tell me about it. I think that would be the hardest, where people would be making all kinds of arguments, including those ones which are unnecessary. But they go to the cheapest because they want to make Ugandans that politics is a cheap thing. It isn't a cheap thing. It requires people to think, filtrate before they talk. I also propose that shadow ministers, after being appointed, they should appear in the opposition caucus for vetting and confirmation. The same should be done to chairmen and deputy chairmen or chairpersons of committees. Why should you represent us when we don't have a say? Because those people, the chairpersons of committees, are representing the opposition. If they are representing the opposition, let the opposition be involved in it. One might say, hey, but the government is not doing that. That is okay. We are not in government yet. When we go there, we shall also look at that problem. I want also to propose that the independent members of parliament should have their own whip elected by them. And they should stop to refer to them as opposition members of parliament. They are not. They are not opposition members. Why? Because when they contested against opposition parties. At the same time, they contested against the government, and they won. That means they are not on the opposition, and they are not on the government side. So you cannot tell me that now those are opposition. If they wanted to be opposition members, they would have joined some parties on the opposition. So now, I want that in the rules of parliament, it is included, and in the Administration of Parliament Act, it is included that these ones are called independent, not opposition members of Parliament, and that they should have a whip whipping them, and so many other things which I'm still writing. In conclusion, therefore, those are just only 5 because I'm still drafting. But I have come to address you because I've heard people talking too much. There are these people which are referred to as bajakuterembwa. And I was telling them, just don't release the rabid dogs. Just only release the normal dogs, because when you release rabid dogs, the reaction on rabid dogs will be so dangerous, and you might find a rabid dog gets injured. So now you release only the normal dogs. Those ones I will handle properly. But now, so far, I have seen rabid dogs, I don't know, all kinds of dogs. Because this is the talk which I have had, that now, I didn't know what imbwa meant. Now, I think I'm beginning to see some. So, these are my views. For people who have gone to school enough, some of you included, if you have a different idea from a colleague, first of all, you don't release dogs. The other one, you don't quarrel. The other one, you don't become bitter. The other one, you don't become crazy. You don't make yourself mad. What you do, you also make a counter argument.